Alrighty, let's do grammar, and we're going to turn to page 25. So go ahead and turn to page 25. Okay. Today, are you there, Lizbeth, on page 25? Okay. So today we're going to talk about the who, which clause. And a clause is a group of words that describe something. So that's what a clause means. It just means it's part of a sentence. It's a group of words. So in this one, the who, which clause is a group of words that describe the noun that it follows. So a who, which clause begins with the word who or which. That makes it easy to remember. And it is a type of pronoun. So who refers to people, personified animals, and pets. So whenever we use who in a sentence, that's when we use it. When we're talking about a person, or this means personified animals, that means animals that are like people, like they're pretending to be like people. Like in our story, the dog in the shadow, because the dog was thinking and talking to the shadow. And if you've ever heard the story like the lion and the mouse or the tortoise and the hare, those kinds of stories, the characters are animals, but they talk to each other. So whenever it's a make-believe story like that, and the animals are talking or doing things that animals don't normally do in real life, that's personified animals, okay? And then pets. And then we use the word which when we're talking about things or animals or places. Okay, so we're going to look at some examples here. A who, which clause must be added to a sentence that is already complete. The example here, the first one, oh, here comes Caleb, so I'll let him in. The soldiers had traveled far. That is a complete sentence. This example right underneath it says the soldiers who had traveled far, and then it says fragment there. That just means it's not a complete sentence. So they did put a who clause in here, but it's not complete. It feels like you need more to that sentence. Hi, Caleb. So we're on page 25 in the grammar book, if you want to turn there. I'm recording this, so if you want to go back and watch the first little bit later, you can. Because we're also missing Sophia, so she might want to watch it later. Okay. We're talking about the who, which clause. And a clause is a group of words. And the who, which clause starts with either who or which. And that's what we were just talking about. We use who when we're talking about a person, or when you're talking about an animal that's acting like a person, like in the tortoise and the hare or something like that, where they're talking and they're doing things like humans do, then you use the word who. Or if you're talking about pets, but whenever you're talking about things or other animals that are just being regular animals or places, then you use the word which, okay? And we were just going over these examples here. We're on the third one that says the soldiers who had traveled far needed food. And so that one is a complete sentence with the who clause right here in the middle. And the who clause, do you see the commas around it before and after? That's because if I take that out, if I cover it up with my fingers, the sentence still makes sense. The soldiers needed food still makes sense without it. So when it's in the middle like that, you use commas there, okay? The other example, they switched those two things. They mentioned the food first and then the travel. So it says the soldiers who needed food had traveled far. And that is a complete sentence again. So when you're looking for a who or which clause, you're looking for those words who or which in there, okay? And this will be something we start adding to our writing in a few weeks when we get to that part where we're putting in dress-up words, we call them. And it really adds style to your writing when you use that. So that's why we're talking about it first in grammar, so you can identify it in the sentence. And then later you'll start using it in your own writing. Okay, it says mark it right here. Place parentheses around who, which clause, and write W/W above the word who or which. So notice a parentheses looks like that. It's a little mark on either side of the clause. It's like a little curve. And then above that, you're going to put the label W/W. That stands, one of the W's stands for who, and the other one stands for which. The soldiers who had traveled far needed food. And then it just reminds you the comma rule here, place commas around a who, which clause. And in the side here, on the side, I mean, in the margin, these are little notes to help you remember. So later when you go to do your homework and you maybe need to refresh your memory about what we talked about, you can look right here too. So a who, which clause contains a subject and a verb. And then the first word is either who or which, and you're marking it with W/W. And then it says, when you rewrite the passages, copy the commas correctly. Those are just little notes for you later if you need to go back and remember. Okay, do you have any questions about who, which clauses? You can shake your head no if you don't. Okay. If you ever have a question though, you can raise your hand or unmute and tell me. So we're going to go on to page 27, and this is our practice page. Does anybody feel like reading the sentence today? Okay, Lizbeth, go ahead and unmute and read it to us.
The dwarf, who bowed and walked away, returned for a third time later that night.
Good, excellent reading. And you said it correctly. This word is bowed. Do you know what it means to bow? What does it mean, Caleb?
Like this.
Yes. Bending forward at the waist. And sometimes you can do a fancy one, you know, or tip your hat or something like that. So bowing is when you bend at the waist. And usually it's when you're at a play or somewhere where somebody's doing something on a stage.
Yeah, like you did when I showed you how to make that hat at Grandma and Grandpa's.
Right. You remember that. That's pretty good. Yes. And so you take a bow. That's right. Okay. So we know what bow means. Let's put a check by vocabulary at the top. And then we're moving on over here to mark it, and you know what to do already. Put a, comma, and then and the. You got to write it kind of small right there. And remember, don't put a D on this one because that would make it and we don't want and, we want an. A-N. A, and the. Those are the articles. Now I'm going to give you a minute to look for those and put AR above it. So look for A and the, and you mark it yourself. See if you can find them. There's two of them. Good, Lizbeth. I see your thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, Caleb, when you have yours. Okay, good job. Put a check mark by that because we're done with that. That was easy. And now we're going to look for nouns. So we'll take turns with that. So Lizbeth, do you see a noun in our sentence?
Dwarf?
Yes, dwarf. And that basically just means like a small person, like in Snow White, right? She has the 7 dwarfs. And how about Caleb? What's another noun that you see in the sentence? Person, place, or thing is what you're looking for. I'll give you a clue. It's at the end. One of them is at the end of the sentence right here. Do you know this word? Yeah, you can say it. Night. Good, that's a noun. And then the other one's a little tricky. It's actually time, because time is a noun. And I know this because it has an article back here, a, and then third is actually an adjective, which you're going to learn soon too. But a third time tells me this is a noun. It's a thing. Okay, so those are the three nouns. And then Lizbeth, do you see a who or which clause? Okay, go ahead and tell us what the clause is.
It's right next to bout.
Okay, can you say the whole clause? Because remember, it's a group of words.
Who bowed and walked away.
Yes, good girl. That's right. Who bowed and walked away. That group of words is the who, which clause. Starts with who. So let's put W/W on top of that. And that's how we label the clause. And also, did you notice the commas? Because that also helps us find it. Who bowed and walked away. Good job, Lizbeth. Okay, and back to Caleb. What word do we need to make capital? You can unmute and tell us. What word needs a capital?
The.
Yes, the very first word, right? Always.
And I put a period at the other end.
Okay, so the end mark is a period. Very good.
It's always a period.
Every once in a while, it's a question though. Before you start writing, I want you to notice that this is a paragraph. You see how it's indented right here? There's a space. So when you write it down below, I want you to leave a space and then start with the word the, like that. Okay, so make sure you're making it a paragraph. And don't forget the commas. When you get to that second line, make sure you go to the edge so it's indented like that, okay? Walked away. Did you already write it, Caleb? You're not writing it today? That's okay.
That's what we were supposed to be doing. I got a little distracted, sorry.
Yeah, that's what we do every time, Caleb. After we're done with the top here, we rewrite it down on the bottom.
I remember, but I
Okay.
didn't know that's what we were doing right this second. I forgot.
Okay, go ahead and write it. You might have to finish it later if you don't get it done quickly. Good, Lizbeth. I see that. Good job. Okay, so Caleb, you can finish that sentence later. It's okay if you're not done. You can finish it after class, okay? I'm going to keep going because we have a lot to do today. So it's okay. You can finish it later. Okay.
I'm not gonna give up that easy.
So Lizbeth, did you get to finish your scorpions paragraph? Did you write your paragraph for your homework? Do you remember? Let me check really quick. You can keep working, Caleb. Keep working on your sentence there. Let me see. I know Caleb hasn't finished his paragraph yet. I know you were working on it. Let's see what we got here.
Mostly because I didn't know about it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because I wasn't here last time. We went to the dinosaur museum.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, was that fun?
Yeah, except
bet.
at the end.
You what?
Except at the end.
Oh, except at the end. I've never been to that place before.
Have you been to La Brea Tar Pits?
Yes, I have a long time ago, but they didn't have the dinosaur exhibit there when I was there.
What do you mean? That's not where it is.
Oh, that's a different spot?
It's the Museum of Natural History.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought maybe it was the same one. I have
No.
been to the tar pits before. That's pretty cool.
Have you been to medieval times?
I have been to medieval times. Yes, I have. That's cool too.
I was expecting you wouldn't. I got 3 souvenirs, but the sword kind of broke.
Uh-oh.
Not the blade. There was like a black wrapping on it that kind of ripped off.
Oh, okay. But it still works, kind of.
Well, my mom asked to fix it with like wood staple thingies. I'll have to show you after class.
Okay. So you can show me after class. I'm going to show Lizbeth, I do see your homework here. I was going to share it on the screen so we can look at it together. This is what you turned in. You found it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you used pen. Good job with that. Do you like using pen or do you like pencil better?
I use pencil.
How about Lizbeth? You got to unmute. I can't hear you, sweetie. There you go.
I think I like both.
Oh, you think you like both? I see that you started with pen and then you ended up using pencil, and that's okay too. But I also wanted to point out that I see you double spaced your lines and it's great. That's perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. Okay, that's good. And then I also noticed a couple of places where you fixed some things and you did the right thing, just drawing a line through it like that. Next time you can write it above the right way if you mess up like that. It's okay. You can put it right above.
I did that once.
Yeah.
I drew a line through it and wrote it above. I watched the video you sent.
Good. And I know that accidentally, Caleb, you forgot to skip a line in one spot, and so did Lizbeth, and that's okay because it's new to you guys. So it'll take a little practice to get used to that.
I forgot to skip one.
Yeah, that's okay. So
and also you gave me the wrong class video.
I know it was a different students, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't record.
I only remember one of the kids' names, and they were older than me. I think I'm the youngest in the class.
Yeah, you're the youngest.
7.
So Lizbeth, how about you read your paragraph to us so we can look at it together and talk about it, okay? Don't forget to unmute.
Scorpions are not insects. They are arachnids with 8 legs, 2 pincers, and a bob tail. There are over 2,000 scorpion species. Scorpions are found on every continent
Yes.
except Antarctica. Over 30 scorpions that are venomous that kill humans. They paralyze their prey by stinging it. Sting it. Scorpions need air and food. Their skin is tough that can survive in a freezer. When babies hatch, they will ride on them on mother's back. Are sold as food to be eaten.
Good. I think you forgot a word there, maybe on the last sentence. Probably like they are sold or scorpions are sold as food to be eaten. But good job, Lizbeth. I know that was the first time you've ever used an outline and put it into a paragraph. And that is a great start. I'm super proud of you. You did great with that. And Caleb, do you have I know you're not finished with it. By the way, Sophia's coming in. But do you want to read? Oh, you finished your sentence. That's good. Do you want to read what you have so far for your scorpion story? Or do you have it with you? Hi, Sophia.
Huh? What'd you say?
Do you have your scorpion story with you right now on your table? Okay, then that's okay. So
I didn't see it. That was the problem.
Oh, you have it? Okay, do you want to read it?
We got new kind of paper.
Awesome. Yeah, I like it. That's a good kind of paper.
Better than it's this paper, not this paper.
Yeah, that's better. I like that.
Way better. This one's kind of brownish.
Okay, so Caleb, do you want to read what you have so far with your scorpion story? Tell us what you have. Go ahead.
What just happened? I pinned myself and something happened.
Okay, so Caleb.
Hey, now you're pinned.
How about Sophia? Do you want to read your scorpion story? Go ahead and unmute, or do you have a question? I see your hand there. I didn't know if you had a question or not. Okay. You want to read your story? Okay, I'll stop sharing this. Go ahead and unmute and tell us your story.
Well, I gotta tell you something first.
Okay, go ahead.
My mom forgot to log in with you today.
Oh, that's okay. I recorded this class, so you can watch the first part later, okay?
I don't know where to start.
Okay, that's okay. We'll come back to you. We were just talking about our homework when you wrote the story about scorpions. So if you have that, go ahead and put that in front of you. Do you remember when I said leave the title blank? And then we were going to talk about how to make a good title. Remember that? So I'm going to talk to you about how to make a title today. Okay. So what I need you to do right now is get out a clean lined piece of paper like this. And I'm going to teach you how to take some notes on your paper about how to make a title. Pen out. So go ahead and put your name right here like you always do on the upper left. You can put your first and last name right there, okay? And then underneath that, the date. So today is February 16, 2023. I'll let you write that down. So you're going to put your name first on the upper left-hand side of the paper, and then the date right here, February 16th, 2023. That's the year. So write that down. And then I want you to skip a line and you're going to write class notes. Class notes. Okay, Caleb, are you writing this down? You got to copy what I have here. So get your paper out and write it down. Good job. I see Lizbeth and Sophia, you're working hard. Good job on that. Okay, and then underneath class notes, I want you to write how to make a title. How to make a title. Because, and as you're writing, you can just listen. Caleb, I don't see you writing, so you need to have your pencil out and a paper, and you need to start writing, okay?
Wait, where do you write it? I got a little distracted by playing a background on. I figured out how.
Yeah, don't play with that right now, okay?
Okay.
All you need to do is copy what you see on the screen.
Where? On a new sheet of paper or this one?
On a new sheet of paper.
I don't know where I get those.
Well, you might have to ask your mom for paper.
Okay.
You-
My arm's disappearing.
I'm gonna put you on mute, okay? You can just watch, Caleb. Okay. How to make a title. And so there is one rule about making a title. So over here, you're going to skip a line and put title rule and then a colon like that. Title rule and then the colon. And the title rule is you repeat 1 to 3 words from your final sentence. So I'm going to have you skip a line and put repeat 1 to 3 words. Sorry, keywords. Key words from the final sentence. Repeat 1 to 3 words from the final sentence. Okay. I'll wait till you have that written down and then I'll talk about the next part. Does anybody know what the word repeat means? Okay. What does repeat mean, Elizabeth?
Like again?
Yes, good. Again. So you're going to put the same word again in the title, and we're going to talk about some examples. So go ahead and skip a line, and then we're going to put examples here. And a colon. So the title rule is repeat 1 to 3 words from the final sentence. Let me zoom in a little so you can make sure to see that good. Okay, give me a thumbs up once you got that done. Good. Did you get this word? Okay, good. I see that, Sophia. Now, what I'm going to do is write a pretend last sentence. You might have something similar to this on your scorpion story, but I'm just going to pretend we're at the end of the story and we're writing the very last sentence. So the very last sentence can be, go ahead and copy this down. Giant scorpions are grilled and fried. Don't forget to skip lines, so we have lots of space here. And eaten as a delicacy in China. Do you remember that word delicacy? Do you know what that word means, delicacy? What does it mean, Sophia? Delicacy.
Like a snack.
Like a snack, but like a fancy snack, right? It's fancy. Not just chips and salsa, but it would be like escargot or calamari or caviar, those types of things. Usually in France and in other countries, they have fancy hors d'oeuvres or appetizers. So a delicacy, this would be like something fancy in China. They actually eat these things. I don't know if I want to go to China because I don't think I want to eat a scorpion. No, thank you. Lizbeth agrees. She's like, no, no, thanks. No scorpions for me. Okay, once you're done writing that sentence, you can give either a virtual thumbs up or a thumbs up in the camera. So you're writing giant scorpions are grilled and fried and eaten as a delicacy in China. Okay, good. I see that. Okay. Now, good. Thank you, Elizabeth. And Caleb, you can keep working on it. I'm just going to talk, but I'll leave it right here for you, okay? So in our sentence, let's pretend we want to make a title now, looking at our last sentence here. Now, the rule is repeat 1 to 3 key words from the final sentence. So this is going to be our final sentence. And so I'm going to give some examples down here. Once you skip a line, let's put example titles. Example titles. I could use that word China, and maybe I could make my title Snacks in China. That could be a good title. I'm going to underline it like it's my title. Snacks in China. Notice I used China because China was in the last part of my sentence here. So it says that we need to repeat 1 to 3 keywords from the final sentence. So I could use I could use China in my title and call it Snacks in China. I could also call it Scorpion Treats. Scorpion Treats. That's another example of a good title. And notice that I picked scorpions from my last sentence and I copied it in the title and just added another word to it. So when you're making a title, you want to copy 1 or 2 or 3 of your words from the sentence, and then you can add whatever other word that you think you like for your title. Now, does anybody have an idea for your title that you want to use? Do you have a different idea? No? Do you have an idea for a title, Lizbeth? You're still writing? That's okay. I know you're eating lunch too. That's okay. How about, let's see. How about we do crazy delicacy? That could be a title using that word delicacy, crazy delicacy. That could be our title. Which one do you like out of these three? Snacks in China, scorpion treats, or crazy delicacy? Which one do you guys like the best?
Snacks in China.
Snacks in China. How about you, Lizbeth? Which one do you like best?
Snacks in China.
Oh, good. All right. That's easy enough then. So what I want you to do is circle this one. And then I want you to circle that word China in your sentence that we wrote up there, because that one copies that word. So you can use that as a title. So now on your paper, on your paragraph that you guys wrote for your homework, go ahead and write snacks in China as your title at the top of your paper. You can copy this title right here, snacks in China, and write it at the top of your paragraph. And when you got it, give me a thumbs up. Snacks in China. I like that one too. And we'll practice more of that. But whenever you write a story for me in my class, you get to change the title and you get to make it whatever you want to make it. The only rule is it has to repeat 1 to 3 key words from the final sentence. Okay, that's the rule. So once you write snacks in China on your paragraph at the top, good, give me a thumbs up. Awesome, good job, guys. Okay, now I want you to open up your binders. And if your mom is nearby, you might need her help with this part. But you remember these tabs we looked at before. Let me zoom out so you can see a little better. And remember the one right back here that says finished compositions? It looks like this. I'll hold it a little closer to the camera. Finished compositions. You see that tab right there? So when you go back to that tab, you're going to see the story from The Dog in the Shadow, and you're going to see the giant saguaro, and you see those 2 stories back there. And now you're going to put the scorpion story back there too. Okay, let me show you again. It looks like this, finished compositions. And then when you move that tab over, that's where you're going to put your stories. So let me show you what I mean here. Remember your keyword outline, that goes in there. And then this one, the scorpions overview and the scorpion story, and then your paragraph that you wrote for me all goes back there in your binder behind that tab. So you open up the rings and then stick the pages in there. And if you need your mom's help or somebody's help, you can get help with that, okay? You're going to lay this in there. It doesn't really matter what order, as long as it all goes behind that tab. That's the important part. And
I don't know what to do.
you don't know what to do? That's okay. You can have your mom help you later, okay? But what we're doing is we're putting the scorpion story back behind finished compositions. That's where it goes because we're done with it now. So everything that we finish goes back there behind finished compositions. I see Elizabeth's mom helping. That's good. So later, Sophia, your mom can help you, okay?
I finished composition.
Yeah, finished compositions. That's where it goes, behind that. Just don't forget to close your rings once you're done. Elizabeth, do you have a question?
Do we have to put this one back?
The class note.
Oh, the
note?
class notes? No, those can go in the front of your binder, the very
Oh,
because we'll need that again. Thank you for asking that though.
oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can put it right here. See where there's a pocket? You can put it in here.
Is it
For
this
later.
one?
Yes, that one. That one goes back behind finished compositions. That's right, Sophia. Just make sure you close your rings after you get it in there, okay?
I'm just gonna leave it here because I need my mom to put holes in it.
Okay, that's fine. You can leave it right there and then she can help you after class. That sounds good. And then we need to get out the next story, okay? So now when you close your rings up, Lizbeth, now you're gonna go to the one that says source texts. One. And then behind that, let me show you what you're going to take out. Let me show you. I don't want to confuse you here. Let's see. 3, 5, 7. You're going to take out 4 pages. Let me show you what they look like. They look like this. You're going to take out 4 pages. The first one says the bald man and the fly. This is page 23. Okay. Page 23. Anytime you need to close your binder, don't forget to close the rings first, okay? But you're going to take out page 23, page 25, looks like this, the bald man and the fly. And then you're going to take out the yellow page, which is 27. And page 29, it says composition checklist. So all 4 pages need to come out. And then don't forget to close your rings when you're done taking those out, okay? I'll show you again.
You guys so fast.
I'm sorry, I'll slow down. Do you see this one, Sophia? It's page 23. 23. Can you go get your mom? I bet she could help you if she's home. You want to go see if she can help you really quick?
I found it.
Oh, good. Got 23? Okay, open the rings and then you can take that out. There's more. So the next one, Sophia, looks like that. Can you take that one out too? That has the picture of the man down here. Good, you got that one. Okay. Now do you have this one, the yellow one? This is page 27. Hold it up so I can see it. I see Elizabeth. Good, take that one out. And then this last one looks like this. Yes, you got it, Sophia. Now close your rings so you don't lose papers. There you go. Good job. Beth, did you find this one? It's page 29. Okay, yay, good. So those 4 pages, don't forget to close your rings, and then you're going to close up your binder. You got to close the rings first. Okay, Caleb, is your mom there to help you? Oh, okay, good. Yay. Now, this one, we just want to keep with this story. So we're not going to really read this page. We're going to start with this one. The bald man and the fly. So look at this one first. Page 25. There we go. Page 25. And you can see a little bit about this story from the picture. The guy has kind of a frustrated face on, like he looks a little mad, huh? On his
He's a
face.
little irritated.
Irritated. Excellent word. That's exactly right. And what is this buzzing around here?
The fly.
The fly. And you can tell because in the title it says the bald man and the fly. Notice he is bald and he doesn't have any hair on top, right? You can even see a little sweat drop right there on his forehead or on his head.
Because he's getting tired of shooting that fly away.
Get away, fly. Has that ever happened to you where you had a fly buzzing around your face and it's like landing on your nose and you're like, ah, get away. It's happened to me before, especially in the summertime when it's hot outside. They love to come out and bother us. All right, so this title says The Bald Man and the Fly, and then it says attributed to Aesop. And Aesop is a type of story that has a lesson that we can learn from it. Have you ever heard of Aesop's fables before? I think we talked about that before. Like The Dog and the Shadow is an Aesop's fable. It's basically a fun story that has a lesson that we can learn from. So it teaches us something. And you've probably heard, I mentioned it earlier, The Tortoise and the Hare. Have you heard of that story before? The Tortoise and the Hare, The Lion and the Mouse, maybe. There's a lot of them. And they teach us a lesson. So that's basically what that means when it says attributed to Aesop. It just means it's one of these fables, okay? It's an Aesop fable. So I'm going to read it and you guys can follow along on your paper as I'm reading it.
I just read it.
Okay. On a hot summer day, a tired traveler sat down to rest and took off his hat. A fly began buzzing about his bald head and sweaty face, landing on his skin from time to time. Get away, fly, he mumbled. He tried to smack the fly, but instead he hit only his own head. When he slapped his skin, it stung, but he slapped again and again, trying to get that pesky insect. But he failed and thus became frustrated and angry. Finally, the man understood his mistake. He thought, we are likely to hurt only ourselves when we get so angry. So basically, he's trying to get rid of that fly, but he ends up smacking himself in the head over and over and over again. And it starts to sting a little bit. You know, if you do that too many times, it's going to hurt. So I guess the lesson we could learn is when we get angry, don't hurt yourself, right? Like if you're so mad and you want to kick a rock or kick a tree or something like that, no, it's going to hurt your toe, right? If you go kick something like, oh, so mad. So that happens sometimes when we're so mad, we want to be careful not to hurt yourself, right? So that's the little lesson that we can learn from this little story. So, all right. Now we're going to try working on a keyword outline. And we're not going to get very far with it because we're running out of time already, but I want to actually at least get your page set up for the keyword outline. And remember, that's when we look for the most important words in the story. So get out a clean piece of paper and you always do this first. So put your name there on the top left. I'm going to label another paper, February 16, 2023. Your name goes where that line is, so you can put your first and last name there. And then we're going to put the title. It's right here, The Bald Man and the Fly. So skip a line. And you're going to put the bald man and the fly. I got to turn off my little heater, so you keep writing. Okay. The bald man and the fly. And then, we've been talking about a key word outline. So instead of writing out key word outline, we're going to put KWO, and that stands for key word outline. So the bald man and the fly, and then you're going to put key word outline there.
Teacher, you're going too fast.
Okay, Sophia, I'm sorry, I'll slow down. I'll wait right there until you're ready, okay? Thank you for telling me that. I need to know if I'm going too fast. I don't want you to be confused. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you're done with that.
Done.
Good. Sophia, do you remember what KWO stands for?
Keyword.
Key word outline. Can you say that?
Keyword outline.
Good. How about you, Elizabeth? Are you done writing it? Okay, that's okay. I'll give you another minute here. Okay, good. And in case your parents or somebody is near, I'm deciding right now that I'm going to create a new Google Classroom for this class because my other classes at this level are moving faster and we're all on the same Google Classroom. And I don't want Sophia and Caleb and Lizbeth to get too far behind. So I will email you about that, okay? So if you're listening and you're a parent nearby, I'm going to email you a new link to the Google Classroom. Okay. Now I want you to skip a line, and now there are 8 sentences in this story. So we're going to skip a line and number 1, 2, all the way to 8. Okay, and we're going to stop right there because we're running out of time already. It went by so fast. So your homework this week for you guys will be just the grammar, okay? We're going to work on this again next week. Good, Lizbeth, you got it. So just do your grammar pages for this week. And I know, Sophia, I know you came on late to class, so I recorded this class. You can listen to it later. Just let your mom know it's in Google Classroom and she can click on it and then you can watch the video later, okay? So you know what to do. So again, your homework this week is just going to be your grammar pages and that's it. So that'll be a nice little break for you guys.
I don't think I can remember all of that to tell my mom.
I'll email her. Just remember that. Just say, hey, Mom, my teacher's going to email you. And then she can look for that. It's okay, Sophia. You're doing great. I know it's a lot and it's hard on Zoom to remember everything, but that's okay. You guys are doing great. And Sophia and Lizbeth, you guys are in 3rd grade, right? Yeah. And I know Caleb's in second grade, almost third grade. So we're going to slow it down for a little bit in this class. But anyway, that's it for today. It's already 3:30. So I will see you next Thursday. And you guys have a great week, okay? Bye.
Bye.
Wait,